Okay, so welcome everyone on this short training. The training is all about how you can grab attention always. So these are psychological triggers which will allow you to grab attention from people. Now, when I say grab attention, it not only applies to when you are talking, it also applies to when you are sending messages, when you are, doing commenting or creating a content. Everywhere. It applies to everywhere. Just need to understand what are these 7 ways, how you can do it. So let's understand the first thing. The first, it is called in media res. Actually, in media res is a Latin word. It means to draw people straight into the most dramatic moment, not the beginning. Remember, put people in the dramatic moment of the conversation. Just example. The investor looked at me across the table and said, I'm out. I had 30 seconds to change his mind. So something was happening. This is in between. And this is a dramatic moment when somebody is saying you are out. Isn't it dramatic? Now, why it works? Because starting in the middle creates instant tension. This is what our brain thinks about it. And the brain immediately wants to know what happened before and after that. Because we are not talking about, I went to the meeting, I went to the conference room, I started talking this, I showed my proposal and blah, blah. We are not talking about this. Neither we are telling him that I was completely out. We are putting them in between, right? That I had 30 seconds to change his mind. So our brain wants to know what happened before and what happened after. So this kind of a, words or sentences or communication grabs attention faster. Clear? That is number 1. Let's go to number 2, which is called the contrast story. Share a contrast between a before and a after. Now it is almost the contrary to this one. Here it is saying about put something in between. Don't talk about the before and the after. This is talking about share a contrast between a before and after. Example, 2 months ago, Miri ran off stage because she froze. Last month, she took the mic in front of 500 people with confidence. Can you see the before and after? Before, she was not able to handle people. She froze. Now, recently, she had spoken to 500 people, right? Why it works? Because transformation is the most compelling story structure in this world. People want to know about the transformation, right? So people stay for the journey between 2 points. Remember, this point and that point. And we are talking about those 2 transformation altogether, right? Let's talk about the third one. The lesson first story. Give away the ending before you tell the story, right? So you are talking about the end, what happened before you are telling the entire story. So example is, I learned how to be on time after I got humiliated in New York City. Here's what happened, right? Why it works? Because knowing the destination makes people more invested in the journey. People have understood that you were there. Now people want to know how you went there, right? The journey. So they listen differently when they know what they're listening out for. So people give attention, right? This was number 3. Let's talk to number 4, the confession. Start with something vulnerable that nobody in your position would normally say out loud. So this is a confession mode. Like 3 months into this, into building this business, I sat in my car and cried. And that was the best thing that ever happened to me. So nobody shares publicly that they cried, right? So what you are saying, you are sharing something vulnerable. So you are confessing. Why it works? Because vulnerability creates instant trust. And if you remember, if you check my coaching LMS, inside my content marketing, I have started with vulnerability post. Because vulnerability is something which creates instant trust, right?
Sir,
So when you go
आपका
first,
आवाज पीछे नहीं आ रही सर.
okay. Is it
हाँ
okay
ब्रेक
now?
हो रही है. भी
Is it
थोड़ा
okay now?
बेटर है.
आपका ब्लूटूथ है, उसका बैटरी खत्म हो रहा है क्या सर?
No. I'm connected with Wi-Fi and the strength is doing proper.
Now it is fine, sir. Last few minutes it was a little difficult.
Maybe some internet speed. I don't know why it is fluctuating. Nowadays it's too much. I've raised a complaint also. Anyway, abhi theek hai? Is it okay now?
Better than before, sir.
Okay, better than before. Chalo, let's do it.
No,
Now
नहीं
let's
आ
go to
रहा
the
है सर,
5th
नहीं आ
point.
रहा है.
Nahi aa raha hai.
नहीं आ रहा है सर.
Should I just a second? I'm
सर
switching
आपको
off.
एक बार खड़े होके एक स्टेप मार के बैठना सर, देन ही काम आता है।
Like, can you hear me now? I have switched on my video. Is it okay now? Is my voice clear?
Yes
Is
sir.
my voice clear now?
Yes
Yeah.
sir.
Okay.
Better,
Chalo,
sir.
let's complete. Okay. Chalo, good. Let's talk about the number 5, which is the 5 senses method. So make people feel they're inside the story. Show them what you saw, what you heard, what you felt. That means, try to bring them inside the story by talking about the senses, right? Like example, the room was silent. I could hear my own heartbeat. And then I opened my mouth, right? So here, specific sensory details are activating the brain's mirror neurons. So people aren't just listening to your story, they are just experiencing it as if they were inside the story. Correct? So that is point number 5, including the senses. Coming to the number 6, which is the universal story. Tell a story so relatable that everyone in the room feels like it happened to them. Like example, you know that moment when you are in a meeting and you have the perfect thing to say, but you waited too long and someone else says it. Right? That same thing happened with Ramya in the last, training session which she had planned. Everybody, did it. Then she had to immediately change everything in the last moment, right? It happens. So that's a real story. And why it works? Because people recognize themselves in your story and they stop listening and start feeling. So this feeling is what makes a story stick, and people are getting, people are getting attention because of all this what do you say? Psychological triggers. And last but not the least, the callback. Plan something early in your talk and bring it back at the end in an unexpected way. Like example, remember that story I told you at the beginning about the investor who walked out? Here's what I didn't tell you. Right? The first example was the same. The investor was kicking me out. I had only 30 seconds. So I left in between. Now, when I say that here I didn't tell you, again, people will get attention. Why it works? Because callbacks create a feeling of completeness and surprise at the same time. The audience feels rewarded for paying attention. So these are the 7, psychological triggers. If you can use it, and if you go and check LinkedIn content or any other content as well, whether it is YouTube videos, a lot of people will start with something like this. Something like this, I'll tell you. If you go and scrutinize smoothly, you'll find people are using these things as hooks for their content and for their videos as well. That's it. Any question? Let me switch on my camera now.